Hey guys, how you doing? So welcome back to part 9 of the El Chapo build. Today, like I said yesterday, today is all about hand finishing. We're going to start on the handle, then we're going to work our way forward. So let's take it to the dirty room and enter the zone. There we go, got everything set up as I want it. First, a little clean up of the blade. The last thing I want to do when I take this up is have any kind of finger grease on there. Sealed in nice and tight for the duration. So a little bit of acetone, job done. And then what I'm going to do is take it apart. Just put a single layer of masking tape on the bolster so I can work on this handle without fear of putting any grip marks in the bolster itself. I'll be hand working the bolster anyway, but why make more work for yourself for the sake of 30 seconds? And now I can work that, that's all nice and secure, I can work that without having to worry about anything. Let's get it in the vise. Right, everything's sitting at 240 now. I'm now going to take it up to 320 and match up all the facets. Like that. So what I'm doing here is I've got the abrasive lined up with the very edge, and I'm just nibbling away at that facet edge there, just so I don't round it over. Keep it nice and crisp. Alright, we're looking good. Pop that pin in now because I'm going to work on the butt. It was in the way when I was working on the chamfer. That's solid. Before we do that, come meet my mate. Where are you going? Come here. Come here, fool. Hey, say hello. Say hello, doggo. My boy, buddy. That right, huh? Yeah, you're a good boy. You're sitting there quietly watching me, aren't you, huh? 100% purebred mongrel. That right, boy. Right, let me get back to work. You out chilling for a bit? Of course you are. Right. Right, that's it, sitting at 320 now. Everything's nice and crisp. So I'm going to take you through the grit some more, clean up the flats, and then bring you back for the edges here. It's cool, it's looking nice, it's getting there. See you in a bit. Right, profile's at 800 now, it's looking nice. So, I'm going to clean up this side. And then just hand finish it. Again up to 800. Right, we're now sitting at 800. I think I might have forgotten to press the button, but that was just some straightforward hand sanding, you know what all that's about. So I'm going to take some 600 and I'm going to soften these corners here. So let's give it a buff. This is looking rather lovely now. Now, obviously, I'm going to need to grind the pins down once it's all glued up and refinish this, but the closer I can get it to final form, if you like, before I do that, then in theory the less work I'll have to do afterwards, as long as I'm uber careful about grinding the pins down. So that's what I'll do, and then obviously after glue up I'll give it another buff on the mop with polish, and then I'll give it a buff on a dry mop just to get rid of any grease or whatever. But yeah, this is what we're looking at. Nice. So right now we're gonna be cleaning up the machine marks on a bolster. Now this was made with a 10mm bullnose bit, so I've got an 8mm rod with some Gorilla Tape wrapped around it, and by the time I've added the abrasive, that will take me up to around the 10mm mark. Now I'm going to do this by hand right here rather than put it in the vise, because the phosphor bronze is quite soft, and when you're dealing with little areas like this, you don't get the feedback from the material to know that you're cutting it the right way. So this way, by holding it, I know that I'm cutting it the right way, and it will stay within the groove, if you like. I'm going straight for 400 grit here because these machining marks are pretty clean, and it really doesn't take much to clean up what machine marks there were. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to just ever so slightly soften the corners, just give them a little dip towards the end there, and what that'll do is that'll just give it a little bit more character, a little bit more of that handmade finish rather than the clinical clean cut lines, or the clinical angles and what have you that you get off the mill. You know, it'll just give it a little extra element. Right, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Where are we? You see just these slight little softening of the corners there. Now obviously I'm going to go around and do the whole lot, and then once I've done that I'll pop it in a vise and I'll get these flats going on just to sharpen everything up a little bit more. Okay, that's all done. So what I'm going to do now is test fit up again, just to make sure that I haven't taken anything off the corners and that all these angles still match up. Right, now you can see better what I mean by the heirloom focus, the heirloom fitting. Yeah, where it's a little bit rounded, a little bit chamfered, and it all fits together nicely. And you can also see the difference in the finish between the machine marks on that now, all finished up and satinised, to the machine marks on the actual handguard itself, which is what I'm going to do now. Okay, that's all the machine marks removed, and very soft, slight softening on the bottom here, which is good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the heirloom corners to this, heirloom edges to this, to the bolster, and I'm also going to take these down just ever so slightly. I've done it already, but I'm going to take it down just a little bit more because it's pretty aggressive. Not a lot, not enough to lose the definition, but just a little. But right, that'll be that for this. Now all these little touches, all these little extra processes basically give it a much more handmade kind of finish to it. Obviously because it's, you know, it's more hand processing, but it just takes the clinical edge off that you get from the machining and just makes it that little bit more handmade, which of course is what it's all about. Now it's time to hand rub the blade, so I'm going to set you up that way. Take everything off with this first. Yep. Alright, blade. So, first thing I'm going to do for hand rubbing is I'm going to start off with a jeweler's stone. This is 220 grit, and these are excellent for getting rid of grind lines to start with, ready for refining. More importantly, to make sure there's no major deviations in the grind. This all feels pretty good, to be honest with you, but this will flatten out the bevels to the point where there's no, like I say, deviations, no dips, no furrows, no peaks, no nothing like that. So that's what we're going to do first. And as I do it, I'm going to check the scratch pattern to make sure everything's looking good. And so far, everything is looking good. So as you can see, everything's looking good, everything's looking flat already. So the grind was already pretty bang on. Remember, transition is super clean, beautiful, perfectly straight. And obviously I'll be going through the grits with the hand sanding after this with the cling spore, with the paper, with the wet and dry. So a couple more clean up down here, and then I'm going to work my way around north, south, east and west. Okay, so we've got dirty finish on there, dirty 220, but the important thing to notice is the transitions. Transitions are bang on, and the stones make it so much more efficient to be able to do that. Now this is no longer flat now. These are same as any other abrasive, you know, they wear down. You've got to treat them like they're free. So that's no good to me. That one goes. We've got a fresh one for this side. Okay. Alright, we're all done at 320. We're going to take this up to 400 now, then that will be the final grit before the etch. Okay, here we go, sitting at 400. Kind of pretty as it is. Transition's still nice and clean, which of course is important. See that little nickel layer. So what I'm going to do now is wipe this down with acetone. Well, actually I'm going to tidy all this up. Then I'm going to wipe this down with acetone. Then I'm going to get it in the etch. And once that's done, I'll bring it back and I'll tell you what's going to be going on for the next step. Alright, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so this is what we got with the darker etch. And what it's actually brought out, don't think this will show up on the camera, but I'm going to try for you, is that there's actually more layers. You've got 1, 2, and then what was originally thought to be 1, 2, 3 layers. You can actually see where this has got more layers to it. It's actually kind of, really don't think it will show, but let's see if I can catch it in the light. Can you see those extra layers there? Look. This is a gorgeous bit of steel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this up and I'm going to sandblast the tang, ready for glue up, in preparation for glue up. And then I'm going to blast these, ready for the next step in their process too. So let's get that happening. And then we'll go back into the machine shop and see what we've got. Okay guys, so here we are. See, it's got a much darker etch on it now. It's looking sweet, so we're going to pop that up there for the moment. And this is what we're looking at now. First off, I'm just going to key this up lightly. Just lightly. Cool. And as you can see, I've sandblasted the guard and the bolster. Now that is actually surface prep for the next step. So I'm going to clean them all up nicely with a little bit of acetone. Get them all looking spick and span. And I want to get the whole surface coated. compared to the flat black. Sweet. So let's do this one. So what do we do now? Yes, indeedy. We test fit up. Right. Groovy. If you've been following this build, you've probably seen my clamp that I made. I don't need to record me gluing this up for you. You know the score by now. You've seen me glue up whatnots, and I don't think there's any more tips I can give you that that will apply here that haven't applied elsewhere. So I'm going to switch this off, get this in glue up, get this to editing, and with a bit of luck, I'll see you tomorrow, ready for finishing off the pins and actually getting this looking like the final knife. But hope you like it so far, guys. And of course after that we got the sheath. The sheath is going to be quite special too, so stick around for that. Groovy. Thanks for coming along. I will see you all in the next vid. Peace.